Hello, this is Requiem, and today I'm going to look over interrupts and how you can use them and generally improve your playstyle by interrupting. Almost every class, with the exception of Priest, has an interrupt, and all classes need to be aware of how to use them or how to counteract them to help in PvP, because they are a huge mechanic that you have to deal with. So let's get these out of the way and look at what interrupts actually do. Interrupts lock the caster out of the current school of magic that they were casting. Basically, if you kick a fireball, they can't cast fire spells. Similarly, if you kick a holy light, they can't cast holy spells. When you kick a spell, you should always try to be aware of the school of magic that you are going to try to kick. Most generally have 1 to 2 schools that you're going to have to watch out for, with mages as the exception. They have 3. With that in mind, on a mage, just kick whatever spec they are. If it's a fire mage, kick fire. If it's a frost mage, kick frost, and so on. Warlocks have 2 schools that you should look for, shadow and fire. Shadow generally includes most of their damage over time abilities, their fear, death coil, and shadow fury abilities. Against destruction warlocks, though, you have a choice to make. Fire is where 90% of their damage is from, and shadow is their utility moves such as the fears, the death coils, and stuns. Interrupting shamans is tricky. They have 2 schools to cast from, fire and nature. In fire, they have lava burst, which hits the hardest of all their spells, but has a cooldown of 8 seconds, so interrupting their nature stops all their lightning bolts, and all of their healing abilities, as opposed to just fire, which only stops the one with the 8-second cooldown. Kicking fire generally results in a lot of lightning bolts coming at you very quickly. Priests are a very difficult class to look at. They have 2 major trees, Holy and Shadow. Both are very deadly. Shadow will stop all of their mana burns, damage over time, Fear, Disarm, Mind Blast, and so on. Holy is their healing tree. It also has their Smite and Holy Fire, which are damaging attacks, all of their shields, penance, and so on. Most priests, if you kick Shadow, will go into healing, and if you kick Holy, will start doing damage to you, so you need to be careful about what you're doing. Paladins only have 1 school, Holy. This school is the majority of their abilities, their Stun, Flash of Light, Holy Light, Divine Light, Exorcism, and so on. Interrupting a Paladin also stops their Bubble, which is their 8-second immunity from damage. General rule is if you can kick a Paladin, do it, but take care not to get fake casted. Last up is Druids, Nature and Arcane. Like a Shaman, kicking Nature is generally a good goal, as it stops their healing. However, Starfire and Moonfire don't have a cooldown, so they can be spammed when your kick is down. Balanced Druid and a few other classes have mixed spells. Druids have Star Surge, which is Nature and Arcane, and should be kicked, will lock out both. The other spells to look for are Mind Spike, Fell Flame, Frostfire Bolt, and a couple others. Should you be able to kick these, it's generally going to be your best bet. Interrupts overall are very devastating, so I'm going to run over how you can avoid and potentially waste another player's interrupts. Now there's a few effective ways to avoid them, however they're all very situational, so I hope you guys can follow my logic and apply them to other situations. The first thing you're going to want to look at is who you're fighting. Is their interrupt a spell? What is their range? And so on. Once you know that, you can actually choose the type of spell you're going to cast. There are a few spells that are channeled, where part of their effect goes off immediately, and then repeatedly throughout if they maintain their channel. These are generally going to be the least wanted ones to kick because they provide the least penalty for actually canceling them and generally the most loss for actually missing an interrupt as part of it has gone off. So right now I'm on my Priest and we're going to look at Penance, which is my channeled heal, as opposed to Flash Heal, which is my hard cast heal. As soon as I hit Penance, I get about a 3500 heal. 0.9 seconds into it I get another, and should the spell complete at 1.8 seconds I get a third. This generally is around 10k health, and if I use my hardcast Flash Heal, it's about a 1.4 second cast and about an 8k heal. So fake casting. The best way to generally do this is to macro /stop casting to another one of your instant abilities, or you can hit the escape key to physically cancel your cast. You need to be careful though, because if they are quick and they do catch your fake cast, you don't want to die. If you cancel it too quickly, there's no point in fake casting because their kick won't go off. Other things that you can be aware of. If it's a melee class, most of their interrupts are within melee range. You can often break range on them, start to cast, and when they catch up, they're generally going to try to kick to stop it, and you can cancel it right there and generally waste their interrupt. So this clip right here just looks at the usefulness of the interrupts. With some really lucky RNG on this mage and a spell reflect, he goes defensive and is in a very bad position very quickly. Now he does break range on me very quickly, so I interrupt the Holy Paladin for 6 seconds with a shield bash. Now, the interrupt I was actually trying to get was the first cast, and he did go into a second one just because he was chain casting because the mage was too low, when it really could have been avoided because I wasn't a threat to the mage at range. He could have still won this fight, although we did have Rezzard, but it wasn't as difficult. That leads me into another good point. Chain casting and how to tell if the heals are actually real. The very first thing you're going to want to be aware of is who needs heals. If everyone around you is at about 100% health, there's really no reason to interrupt a healer. You can use the enemies around you to judge if the heal is going to go off or if it's going to get cancelled.